All right. Welcome back to the Femininity Project podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Bogdanova. Today, I am so excited. I have one of my favorite people as a guest on the podcast. And Holly, you are actually the first guest who is not married to me. So you're the first official guest on the podcast. So I'm so excited.
Not a fair competition.
Both of you are
I've known
probably
you longer. I've known you longer
true.
than the person you're married to.
True. So you guys, Holly is incredible. I want to tell you a little bit about her from a professional standpoint, and then I'm going to share what my relationship is with her. Holly is the co-founder of a certified B Corp, 8 Billion. Their mission is to revolutionize the beverage industry and help many to drink good, feel good, and do good, which I love. She graduated from the University of British Columbia with a degree in nutritional science. She is a research scientist and formulating chemist. She's worked on the development of hundreds of products, including nutraceuticals, cosmeceuticals, and pharmaceuticals. That's a tongue twister for various global brands. She has been invited to speak on international stages on various subjects, including skincare, mental wellness, and brain health. So, Holly is a certified genius. I love her. I've met her, what was it, almost 20 years ago? When did you start dancing?
Oh, before I met my husband and you met yours. So
Okay, so we
yeah.
both knew each other before we met our husband.
20, yeah, it has been 20 years
Okay, so
since
I
I
met
started
her,
dancing. Yeah.
yeah, at the old dance studio I worked at. She
Yep.
came in and she was just this ball of energy. And she is this rare combination. You don't see this so much where somebody has so much fire, but they also have so much joy and intelligence. Any room she comes into, she lights up. I just
Oh.
love her. You can tell how much I love this woman. The other thing about her, so we danced together. I coached her. She was part of our women's dance team. And then when we started our other dance studio, Holly's dancing with my husband and competing with him, which also tells you she's a very strong woman because he's
I had
quite.
no choice. I had to compete because Bella made me.
So she's been dancing with both me and my husband for a while now. And then she's also a member of the Femininity Project and the Feminine Collective. So you were just going to be in a treat. Like, this is going to be a treat for you. Anything Holly does, I want to do. She's got great skin. She's healthy. She's energetic. And any product that she goes, this is amazing. I want it because I fully trust this woman and I see how she lives her life. So today is going to be educational. It's going to be fun. It's going to be girl chat. Are you ready to dig in? Yeah.
I'm ready. I have been ready my entire life for this.
Okay.
That was so cheesy. Did that work?
I've been waiting for this moment my entire life.
That's what I said to Bella before we go walk on the dance floor. Are you ready? I've been ready my entire life. Oh, no, 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 no. I was born ready.
I was
Sorry.
born ready.
I was born ready.
Well, your career has been fascinating, from studying nutritional sciences to becoming a formulating chemist and the co-founder of 8 Billion. What initially sparked your interest in this field, and how has your path evolved over the years? Because I know it's taken some twists and turns and
Yeah. I all started with my mom. She's a chemist. She used to be a chemistry teacher. And so chemistry is just, in my blood, has always been in my blood.
Mhm.
And just and also health and wellness. It's something being growing up in China, not just health and wellness, but food and in general, and how that's connected to how our health really it has been something I have been fascinated with my entire life. And so it was a natural decision to go into nutritional sciences. When I had to make a decision, either I wanted to become a writer, and I didn't know how I was going to incorporate chemistry into it, but I am now these days. And so it was a decision that was made over the years, and that's wanting to do something scientific and
Mm.
chemistry and also nutrition, and leading to health and wellness later on in my professional journey. And right after graduating from university, actually, I started my first business, which is a health food store.
Oh,
And that was fascinating. I learned so much. I grew as a person, as a nutritionist, as a business owner, and enjoyed for while I was running my own business, and it was very intense. You and I both,
yeah,
my second time around being business owner,
yeah.
and I gave everything, give it everything, but decided it was not sustainable, just running a health food store. And I will come back and talk about, my lifestyle back then. Well, probably, it's a good time to talk about it. I was just taking lots of pills. I
Mm.
was taking vitamin, all the alphabets. I was taking all the herbs. I was, protein powder, you name it. I was obsessed with everything to do with health and nutrition. But I was not healthy. I was
Mm.
going to the extreme. I was looking at the supplements, looking at these pills to give me the health.
Okay.
Um, but the focus was taken away from my relationship with food. And I was not enjoying food. I actually established a really unhealthy relationship with food. So from there on, I decided to study from Dr. Bruno Goujon, one of my mentors, who was a formulating chemist and biochemist, and he mentored me for many years and helped me to become a formulating chemist myself. And I've developed all kinds of products, the ones you're pronouncing beautifully, cosmeceuticals, nutraceuticals.
You're so kind.
Those are fancy words. The cosmeceuticals are a hybrid of cosmetics and pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals,
Mm.
and just things that has a component of nutritional elements, and also that goes into different categories of products, and that deliver different efficacies. So I really enjoyed creating products, and I had the pleasure working with many different brands. So I was really behind the scene. I was working
Mhm.
with global brands like New Skin, like Avalon Organics and Burt's Bees, and I was working with Amore Pacific, so lots of global brands. But they're looking for expertise to help them develop products that's innovative and for them to penetrate the market. So I had the pleasure of just all kinds of opportunities on developing products that are cutting edge and innovative, and just really gave me a lot of freedom and a way to really just take the lead on also walking down the path that had me never been walked before. And back then, I was asking for ingredients are free of preservatives, free of paraben, and the suppliers would be looking at me like, what are you talking about? It does not exist. And of course, these days, these chemicals are not even allowed in many countries.
Mhm.
So, I have come a long way as a formulating chemist, and so has the industry, right? And so over the years, I've worked in different industries
Yeah.
of skincare, cosmetics, beauty, nutritional and pharmaceutical. And over the last, I would say 10 years, my focus has been on a very niche kind of a category of nutraceuticals, which is called nootropics and adaptogens. So everything to do with your brain, with your brain health, with your mental health, and with stress management, and with your mood, with your um, just everything to that has a connection with nutrition, with what we eat and what we drink, and that by managing how your body's ability to cope with stress and which is what adaptogens do. And your body, in my opinion, this is the most important thing. If your brain can make better decisions, everything else will fall in places. So I have completely immersed myself in this very niche category of nutraceuticals and decided to start my own business during the pandemic and developed products and that are all based on the nootropics and adaptogens I have worked with and have conducted research over the last 10 years and then incorporate into beverages, ready to mix beverages that deliver the efficacies that I have been looking for to help me to help with my cognition, my mental performance, my memory, my decision making, and my mood, my ability to cope with stress. And that's here we are. The name of the business is called 8 billion because there are 8 billion people on the planet. And we all want the same thing, really. We all want to drink good, we want to, feel good, and we want to do good. So yeah, here
Okay,
we are.
amazing. We're going to dive
Yeah.
into so many of those things in detail because there's so much there. Your career has been quite a fascinating one with so many twists and turns. I'm going to take a detour for a second and I want to talk about where we first met, which was dancing. And I want to know what brought you into the dance studio and then what kept you dancing through all these years.
Yeah, I think I have always been fascinated with, when I watch um, performances,
Mhm.
dance performances, and I have been attracted to a lot of things, of course, the musicality, the beauty, the costumes, but most important, the confidence the dancers and I love it how they control their body. I love it how they express, what they want to express.
Mhm.
And that's the kind of freedom that really attracted me to make the decision as an adult to start dancing and start ballroom dancing, which also gives another layer of connecting to another person,
Yeah.
right? So I think dancing is really a form of communication. You're dancing to an audience, or
Mhm.
you're dancing with another partner. And in our formation, we were dancing without a partner, but we're dancing with other partner, like other ladies in
Yeah.
the group, and coming together and expressing to the audience and with each other, and to each other and with each other. So there's all that, everything I really um, I'm passionate about in life, which is, well, um, there's a lot of well, and then health and wellness as well. I don't think you can express yourself and you can feel confident in how you communicate, how you express yourself if you don't have a body that you have confidence in and you have control over and you have the balance and you can express the way you want to express yourself. So everything I'm passionate about life really come through my dancing.
Yeah.
And I feel so fortunate. Like every single day I tell myself it's a privilege that I can move my body the way I want to move. I can express myself the way I want to express, and I have the tools to help me to do that. And tools in like physical tools like things I eat, I drink, the products I developed, and the business, that which gives me,
Yeah.
the privilege that I can dance, and the tools that I've been learning from you and Vlad over the years in terms of performance and the techniques in dancing and just endless. I'm still learning. Still, we just had a session right before this podcast. I'm still learning from you every single time, Sarah. There's just, and I will never, never stop learning from you and the lot.
Thank you. Ditto. Right back at you. And it's a great point too. The fact that you can move your body, it's intentional. Like you've built your life so that you can do that. I know how you train inside the studio, also outside of the studio. I've had many meals with you. I know how you approach food. It is, it doesn't just happen by accident. You cultivate the life that you've built, and also you live well, which is another point of it. Like when we go out to eat, you eat well. I enjoy our meals together. They're usually very long and delicious and satisfying, and we never
Yeah,
have dessert.
our sessions are very like what, 3 hours?
Yeah, oh, they're so good. So you have also performed now. Has there been a performance that's been, or a performance or a competition that's been particularly transformative for you, or that you can remember stood out?
Well, I think how many times have we performed our formation?
I
15
think
times?
I think it's up to 20 now. It was,
Okay.
yeah.
I think every single one of them, the ones, probably the first one was very would stand out because that was probably devastating to us. I maybe to you as well. Maybe it was painful for everybody. I
Well, okay, you
was
need to give some context to that. You can't just leave it there.
I was telling Sarah the right before my very first solo performance, not with Villa, not before I met you. Um, I just decided not to even show up. I was hiding in the um, we have come a long way. I think every performance during the process and of learning and preparing and also performing I learned so much. And I feel like it's not acting per se, I'm pretending to be somebody else. I'm expressing part of me, and
Mhm.
that's different from last time.
Yeah.
And then next dance and and there's the part of me. I think for me as a woman, and for everybody, for all your audience, you don't really, I can't describe myself just with one word and say, like, Holly is, I don't know, fiery,
Yeah.
because there's a part of me that's fiery, and there's part of me that's something else. And
Mhm.
I could, but I don't want to be one a woman just with one dimension. I want to, and nobody is really.
Yes.
And so when that performing really and performing different dances and through the formation and also through my competition with Bilal, I mean, we have 9 dances. When we're dancing cha-cha, I'm a very different person versus when I'm dancing, foxtrot or Viennese waltz, or tango, right?
Yeah.
Um, but they're all me. They're
Mhm.
all part of who I am. But I get this, I think this is a luxury for me to to express myself, within that 90 seconds to and let the audience see that part of me. And then the next 90 seconds, they see the
Mhm.
entire different side of me. And that's to me, it's so much freedom, and it gives me so much joy. And hopefully I also bring that to the audience as
Yeah.
well.
You definitely do. And I think as you've gotten more comfortable, I've seen you dance for years now. You've gotten more and more expressive as you've also had the tools to become more expressive in it, because that's a part of it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the tool is so important. Sarah, I still remember the very first performance class
Yeah.
that you taught. I remember uh I giggled the whole class. Well, it did not help. My partner was Gemma.
Okay,
Gemma,
fair. Yeah. Was that
we
the
giggled.
exercise I had you guys look at each other? Was
Yes,
that the
yes.
one? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that.
I do
Okay,
remember
good.
now. Maybe blocked it out of my mind. But that was the
See
first.
how far we have come,
Yeah.
right? That was what, 12, 15 years ago. But yeah, and it's with us forever. And it's with me, not just through dancing,
Mhm.
but through everyday life, through how I communicate with people, my family, my friends, my colleagues.
Mhm.
I think it has helped me in so many different ways, and it helped me to become really, I feel so comfortable in my own skin. Doesn't mean I won't continue to learn and evolve.
Yeah.
I am so excited about all the the possibilities,
Yeah.
and everything's a bonus now. Like I have never dreamed of coming so far and becoming uh, the woman who I am today and doing the things I'm doing. It's everything. I don't take anything for granted. I'm grateful every single day for the abilities I have to do the things I do. And I'm so excited about the endless possibilities. Um, you know,
I love
for
that.
me,
I also think it's a really good point. The way that you talk about it now is okay, the possibilities are endless and I'm excited about it. And I think that's such a really great perspective to remember because sometimes in the beginning for people, it's hard and they're pushing through things and they kind of can't picture what the other side looks like. But once you get to a certain point, it stops becoming so hard and it becomes more exciting. And yeah, it's just a really cool part of being a woman. There's always another level to explore, but it's not like you're fighting for it so hard at the beginning. It's almost like, do you really want it? Like the performance classes probably weren't comfortable a lot of the time, but now the tools that you have, it's fun when you go out
it's
there.
so enjoyable. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
enjoyable. I say I always have enjoyed it. Otherwise, I would not, keep going back and take
Yeah.
more lessons. Even though, like, the first time I was hiding in the bathroom, I couldn't even walk onto the dance floor.
Yeah.
But, you know, next time I did, and it was
Yeah.
very terrifying. And
Yeah.
I couldn't even move my legs. I remember I would be standing, getting ready and bring myself to the dance floor, and I couldn't move. And it's like, what was my choreo? I'm not going to remember anything. But from there, I still wanted to do it. I still want to continue.
Yeah.
And and now I'm at the place that, yeah, I have done the hard work. I have overcome lots of issues, lots of,
Mhm.
all kinds of issues, physical issues and emotional issues, and
Yeah.
to get to this point. But I don't take anything for granted. I cherish every moment and every opportunities, and every dance lesson is a luxury, is a joy. I would never not enjoy any dance lesson. I would never not enjoy any session with you. Like everything is just, a gift to me.
Beautiful. Thank you. With my husband, though, everyone's a gift.
Is he listening?
Just kidding. He's good. He's good. You're
He's the
also,
toughest.
go ahead.
Yeah, I think he's not everybody is used to the kind of style of teaching, I must say. There are people who probably just want to be pampered, who probably just want to be told that everything they're doing is working, but that's not the truth. We just had a session, Sarah, right before this. I don't want you to tell me that, Holly, everything is you're doing is perfect. You're good. Yay, good job. Keep up the good work. No, I want you to tell me what I can do to improve myself, because I know that I can always get better.
Yeah.
So yeah, as long as you can, you know, uh, I guess humble is probably the right word. I don't ever want to become one of those people that I think I know it all, I got it all. And
Mhm.
the more I know, the more I know I don't know. So I
Yeah.
would always want to keep on learning. But getting started, like the students I have, watched over the years and who took trainings with you and who took lessons with Villat, once they get started and once they decided that this is something that they should be investing into themselves,
Mhm.
and then they're willing to do the hard work. It's not easy. No, none of this is easy. I'm not saying that because it's enjoyable. It's easy.
Yeah.
No. I everything else I do, like Pilates class, and I started doing a year ago. Every single time, you can use the word painful, but the moment you walk out of it, it's like I'm so glad I have done it, and I feel
Mhm.
not like having sessions with you are not painful.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot sometimes, but you always get some walk away gaining so much
Yeah.
and wanting to go back and learn more. So that's important. And I do want to say, like, investing in yourself is so important. That being just taking dance lessons and being coached by you and a lot, and reading and listening to podcasts, and just continue to to be curious, continue
Mhm.
to do the hard work. It does take a discipline. It does take determination.
Yeah.
But you know, your life it would be so rewarding because you have invested into yourself, in
You
my
are
opinion.
also a part of the Femininity Project community and the Feminine Collective. What does femininity mean to you, and how do you weave it into your day-to-day life?
Yeah, that's I ask myself that question. Not I ask myself that question, every time I talk about the
Mhm.
Femininity Project with somebody else, and they kind of, it's like, what do you mean? Like, you want
Yeah,
to be
what is it?
sexy? Right. No, it's about having control over your own expression, your communication. And for me, what the outcome I want to get out of um, you know communicating with other person is, I want to show my respect to others, and also I want to be respected by
Mhm.
others. I think respect is probably the most important thing in relationships, in all relationships.
Mhm.
I wish there's more respect, amongst people in this
Yeah.
world. If we do, but you don't just demand respect, you earn it, and you earn
Mhm.
it by showing other people respect. So I think how the body language and how we communicate, a lot of it is showing the person you're talking to, the audience, and the respect that they deserve, and they in turn show you back the respect. So the Femininity Project is, for me, is learning the tools and the skills, and then also and along with you
Mhm.
practice with these tools, to build the way, the confidence. You can't, I think having the confidence in yourself is the most important thing. Then if you don't have the confidence, you can't really authentically express that, or communicate that with the other person.
Mhm.
So that, yeah, and you could be sexy. I think there are times if I'm spending time with my husband, yeah, and maybe I want that part of me coming through,
Yeah.
and he loves it, he appreciates it. And when I'm in a professional environment, I want people to appreciate me as a graceful person.
Yeah.
They enjoy being in my presence, and they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I bring I give them some kind of positive experience by how I talk, how I dress, how I express myself. It's like dancing, right? Like,
Yeah.
when you're dancing with another person, without the audience, it's a partnership that you're building, and the leader will work on their skills to make the follower feel like she's the most beautiful thing. She's the painting, and they're the frame. So we all have different rules. Doesn't mean that because I'm a woman, well, yeah, because I am a woman, yes, there is a way. It's not. I'm not saying that it's not a feminist statement, but you
Mhm.
know men and women are playing their own roles in
Yeah.
relationships, right? And I know that there's a lot of people talking about in society, at work, and we need to be equal and all that. We're not the same, right? Equality doesn't mean that we have to be the same. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that a woman has to behave like a man,
Yeah.
right? I want my husband to behave a certain way because he is who he is.
Mhm.
And in dancing, it's like the leader is the one to lead, the woman, the follower is the one to follow. If I want to back lead the leader,
Yeah, it's going to be a
no,
battle.
it doesn't work,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. But then, but if he doesn't do his job, if I behave like him and he behaves like me, this is going to fall apart. So I think for me to learn to work on my femininity is to help me to to define my position, my role, so I get the respect and I show the respect and I get the respect and we can collaborate. We can make a beautiful dance together without,
Love that.
you know, without I suppose taking not stepping, yeah, literally stepping on each
Each
other's
other's
toes. Like,
toes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You would. If I'm trying to, if he's not leading me, if he's not giving me clear directions
Mhm.
and give me the support, then I can't trust him. Then I will do things that will take this dance into a different, into not a pretty direction
Mhm.
that go. So I think
Yeah.
dancing has a lot of a lot of things, lots of things in life can be compared to dancing, to the partnership. Yeah.
When
Uh,
part of what started the Femininity Project was the inspiration behind it was a lot of our women's formations. And what I would try and do was with each formation, choose a new part of a woman's personality, like different shades of her. Because, like you said, you're not one thing. You're sexy, you're also this, you're also that. But often people don't have the tools or the permission to express it. And every time I would choose a different personality, I'd get one woman on the team who'd come up to me and who'd say, I'm not going to do it. This is not me. And they would be adamant. And then 6 months later, they'd be on stage fully embracing and performing. And it was amazing to see the transformation for them. But also, which was not in hindsight surprising, but at the time it was surprising to me, is how much feedback I would get from the husbands who would come up to me and they were so thrilled. They were so grateful. And when you were talking about, okay, we're equal in value, but we're not the same. And the things that make us different are also the things that are so beautiful. Like our femininity to men, it's like lifeblood to them. They get it nowhere else. And so when a woman is actually secure in her femininity and she feels like she has permission to express it, it doesn't just help her confidence, it helps everybody around her. And
Absolutely.
it's so beautiful to watch. And it's so cool to see how it infiltrates all their relationships. Like I often hear women say, like, oh, I'm worried that my femininity is going to make me weak. It is the opposite. It will, it will change your career, it will change your relationships. But if there's this apologetic portion of it, like you think it's weak and you don't know how to show up fully in it, then it kind of is. But it's more a reflection of the tools you have to express it and your viewpoint on it, not what the
Absolutely.
actual thing is. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have, you know, I will use the word transformation. I mean, we met, I hope you do remember, how I used to never wear dresses or heels. I just thought that that was not for me. Like it's just I would never be able to walk around with that kind of confidence. Now, the word sexy was not even in my
yeah,
vocabulary, not make any connection to it. And now, if you want to, we have how many informations we have done, and if the word sexy comes up, yeah, I can be that. If the
yeah,
word playful comes up, yeah, I can do that. If the word, fiery or
yeah.
whatever I want to be, I can. I
Hmm.
can be in for that moment. I can be in that under the situation with the right person. And it comes out naturally
Yeah,
from me because of the years of training of also the confidence that you and Vila helped me to build over the years.
How has
So
that
it's
confidence translated? Because now you've competed, but you're also a speaker. You've spoken on international stages. How has that come into your day-to-day life? Tell
yeah, a
me.
lot. I think the skills I learned from the performance, from the dance performance,
Hmm.
I have applied them to my just yeah, I would sometimes speak in front of like room full of scientists, and it's not that I need to be sexy, but the
Yeah.
skills we have worked on, like the breathing, right, and the
Mhm.
mental focus, the keywords, all those things I do apply before I go on the stage and speak to a room full of nerds, right, and to calm myself and to stay, with it's just all these key points, all these steps that we worked on to deliver a performance. I applied the same steps and key and techniques to
Mhm.
deliver a topic that's, scientific or technical. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what that is, it's the same techniques, and it's the same kind of practice, and you just
Mhm.
have to but you need to understand what they are, and you need to work on it, you need to practice and apply,
Yeah.
and in everyday life, like every dance lesson, really, we used to, when we practice, you will be standing there and pretending to be the audience and staring into our eyes and make us uncomfortable. Yeah, it doesn't come overnight. It
Mhm.
took me many, many years, and many, many more years to go. But I'm so glad that I have had just really the privilege of being able to work with you and a lot, and be able to apply all those skills into my
Mhm.
professional life. And
That
we
reminds me, so much of this is emotional regulation too, right? Whether it's
yes,
handling nerves or excitement. But I remember with our women's dance team, excuse me, we would practice the bows and then we would practice you walking, the whole group walking out of the room. And initially, everybody would be great. Their bodies would be in beautiful positions. And then the second they bowed, like kind of slump off, and then they'd start laughing and talking to each other. And so we drilled not just the dance, but we drilled you guys all going out of the room 200 feet, being silent till that just became the norm. So the emotional regulation was there. Whether you felt good about the performance, whether you felt bad about the performance, you still had your composure. And I think that's a really important part is that you said there, it's not just knowing the tools. They have to be drilled in until you can't get it wrong. And so that you can also rely on yourself to know, okay, I've done this 100 times. And I have confidence in the fact that I've handled this 100 times.
yeah. And you have, in my case, I apply it to everything I do.
Mhm.
Every meeting I have,
Yeah.
how you enter, how you express yourself, how you carry yourself, and how you walk out of the room, like
Hmm.
all that. How
Yeah.
you walk down the street, really. How you make eye contact with anybody.
Yeah.
We used to work on that, looking at the audience, and that's that. Dancing is really like, I do enjoy the technical part of dancing, but why the dancers I really do admire,
Hmm.
and quite often are the ones who are just, you just look at their faces, and you just don't even want to take their, and you don't even know their bodies are moving. Of course, their bodies are moving beautifully, but
Yeah.
I was just mesmerized by looking at their faces and their eyes and how they draw me in.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's so beautiful. I think, the way, human beings are made, are meant to have just, beautiful artistic moments and to be shared
Hmm.
together. I think dancing does, um, really gave me the space and to apply all these tools. But even I know a lot of your students are not necessarily dancers, but I think everybody's a dancer in life. We all dance through life, we all want to move. Dancing is really just an artistry movement, or movement, in it's a beautiful marriage of artistry and movement. And we all want that. Like everything we do has artistry. And of course, we move, right? Everything we do is also a movement.
I feel like you should create merch with that. Everybody's
Oh
a
yeah,
dancer. I feel like it's very catchy.
everybody is.
Yeah,
Even when people say, "Oh, I know I have two left, feet and I can't dance, I have no rhythm." They do. It's in everybody. I don't think
yeah.
one person can would listen to music and not feel anything. Like whatever that feeling is, once you we just need to have the tools to
Yeah.
control our body to move
Hmm.
and with the music, and that's called dancing.
Yes. That's actually a really good point too. For example, men in North America, a lot of men don't grow up with music. So when men would come into the studio, we'd always hear, "Oh, I have two left feet, I have no rhythm." They never had any exposure, right? They didn't grow up with it. Women are usually encouraged, like, "Oh, move," but men aren't. And then they're just told. It's almost as if they think it should be this innate thing. No, now we have to remove all the stuff that stuck to you for the last years of everybody telling you you can't do it, and then give you permission and then give you tools to actually express it. It's interesting. It's a whole other topic, but yeah. You you co-founded 8 Billion, which is a certified B Corp with a really inspiring mission. Can you share how your background as a scientist and formulating chemist shaped this venture?
Yeah. So as I said, like everything in my life is connected. Dancing is something I'm passionate about, and health and wellness,
Hmm.
and because my expertise in health and wellness, and it gives me a lot of freedom to apply to my passion. So, yeah, the products, as I mentioned earlier, is really everything to do with your brain and your mental performance. It all started when I was working with athletes. And you would think that athletes, it's all about physical performance, it's all about the muscles, it's
Hmm.
about speed but really a lot of I would say more importantly, it's their mental performance, it's how they train their mind, how they stay. I actually mentioned, I said something about calming energy the other day, and somebody was like, "What do you mean? Like they're mutually exclusive? They're not at all." So if you watch like our dance performance or our competition, and also you watch the Olympians, right? Before they go and start the race, you look at they're not jittery, they're not like losing their minds, and they're also full of energy.
Yeah.
So the calming energy to me is important in everything, in every way. Like if we can control our mind and our body and to stay focused with mental clarity and to make the right decision in the right moment, and everything will be a lot, everything will work
Yeah.
in that sense. And so a lot of focus on health and wellness had been prior to when the nootropics and adaptogens become this very important category of
Hmm.
nutraceuticals. A lot of it used to be like just your cardiovascular health or your weight management and how to build muscles. And I went through all that.
Yeah.
And one of the Masterclass will be doing next week is going to be the weight management, and
Hmm.
that has a big category of nutritional sciences. Is how do you eat to maintain a healthy weight? But the focus has been really on everything else but the brain. And so for me, the discovery of nootropics and adaptogens was just life-changing. And ever since I shifted my focus
Yeah.
away from everything else, and let's just focus on, for example, weight management.
Hmm.
The, ever since I shifted the focus from just starving myself or counting calories to feeding my brain with the nutrition, my life has transformed in so many different ways. You know, I make better decisions. I learn faster. I'm a lot calmer. I'm a lot more focused. I have a lot more sustained energy. So all because of what I'm doing for my body, all started with my brain. So that's has been life changing for me, and or, that's also the reason we started the business, 8 billion, because the beverage industry, the food and beverage industry, which I have been part of for many years as well, and so has my husband. It had, I don't think it had done any favor for the humankind in terms of providing them with something that helps them to be healthier. It
Hmm.
had done quite the opposite. So when we decided to start a business, I was determined to not do that. I was determined to. That's why I use the word revolutionize the beverage industry. I know it's very ambitious, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
And getting
do
started,
it.
I do want to help people to drink. And first of all, we want to enjoy what we drink and what we
Mhm.
eat. And it goes back to the days when I had the business of health store. I was taking all these tablets and capsules and their so-called nutritional supplements, but I was miserable. After swallowing 20, 30 pills, I had no desire to eat. And I was afraid to eat because I thought if I eat fat, I will get fat, and if I
Yeah.
eat carbs, something else horrible will happen. And to fast forward to now, and you and I have shared many meals. You
Mhm.
see how passionate I am about food.
Yeah.
I think the joy of eating of food, what we eat and drink, is so important. It's not just for my culture, it's universal. That's why
Mhm.
we're obsessed with all these documentaries and talking about different foods, different cuisines, and different cultures, and
Mhm.
how everything is based on our relationship with food. And
Mhm.
once establish this healthy relationship with food and focus on what I need to help my brain, to help my mental health, and
Yeah.
to help cope with stress, my life had, I shouldn't say it's so much easier because my life is not easy, right? We're just talking about the
Yeah.
stress being business owners. I have taken on so much more, so many more responsibilities as a person. I'm responsible for a lot of things every
Mhm.
day that I didn't have like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And pandemic was also life changing. It was for everybody, for
Yeah.
everybody. I'm not alone. I lost three family members. Everything I was doing before the pandemic, it just disappeared. My career, my lifestyle, my loved ones. So maybe that was the reason. Instead of looking at, okay, I need to worry about losing weight, or I need to worry about my uh, immune
Yeah.
immunity was important as well. But no matter what we did, the pandemic was pandemic. It took away a lot of things, but what was really important, it was for me to stay mentally healthy,
Mhm.
to cope with stress, which really is there's connections between stress
Yeah.
and chronic stress especially, and metabolic diseases, and obesity, and we'll be getting into that during our master class.
Mhm.
Once I find the right approach, I think at this point, even though my so-called stress level, what I have taken on is sky high, I'm able to maintain my physical health and my mental health,
Yeah.
and I'm able to maintain a healthy relationship with my just the food I eat and drink, and I still get the most pleasure out of what I have in life, and which is something I don't think I ever had in my life until now, only because I focus on the nutritional the, everything we need to in terms of intake of nutritional values and
Yeah.
how that helps with our brain.
I want to talk about the actual coffee for a second because this is one of the things that helps you. It's also helped me. This past year, I've been on and off in Bangkok and then back in North America. But all my sessions that I do over Zoom are usually really late at night. So they're 11, 12, or 1 a.m. here. And I've been taking this coffee at night because I need to stay up, but it doesn't give me any jitters. It gives me complete mental clarity. It is, it's in my routine now. Every single day, I'm a customer. I want to share this with everybody. It's just fantastic stuff. And I know there's lots of things that go into this coffee that gives those results. So can you break down some of them so people can understand what is the
Yeah, yeah.
difference between this coffee and other things that are out there? Because I've tried many different things and have not experienced the same results. So,
Yeah, so you're talking about Juice de Riva.
yeah.
Here you go.
Tell me about it.
And yeah, so as I said, the pandemic was life-changing. I really developed this product as a coping mechanism to just the incredible, difficult time that we were all going through because I was drinking lots of coffee and like probably many people
Yeah.
in the world, and the I really had this addiction, I would say, with caffeine, which was quite detrimental to my health. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. Like the jitteriness, the heart palpitation,
Mhm.
the ups and
Anxiety.
downs. Yeah. And then digestive issues, all kinds of negativities only because I had this unhealthy relationship with caffeine. But also at the same time I was taking all these nootropics. I was taking all these ingredients that's in Joesteriba in this so much more than mushroom coffee.
Mhm.
Mushroom coffee is a thing, by the way, and
Yeah.
yeah, but I will talk about the difference between Joesteriba and mushroom coffee. But these ingredients were the ones I was taking in tablets and capsules, the L-theanine, which is the amino acid from tea. That's why the reason, Sarah, you don't get the jitteriness because L-theanine, even though tea has caffeine in there, you don't get the same kind of
Yeah.
jitter from drinking tea because of L-theanine. So
Okay.
we have the L-theanine in Joesteriba, even
Yeah.
though there's coffee in there, it takes away the negative side effects from caffeine. And there's ashwagandha, which is adaptogen, and there's lion's mane mushroom and reishi mushroom, and both of them are nootropics. So everything you do, as I mentioned earlier, to with your brain health. And there's an ingredient that's extracted from the skin, from the berry of coffee. And that is very important because the neuroprotective property of this extract can help your brain stay younger. And so all these things I was taking in tablets and capsules. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, I was drinking this coffee, which you just regular any coffee I could get, and just hating all the negative side effects. And I decided, okay, I'm going to incorporate these ingredients. I know they're good for me into coffee. And that's something hopefully I will enjoy this experience. And I after a lot of trial and errors, and the first the prototype was disgusting. And but eventually Sarah, you have been drinking it. I every morning I look forward to getting up and drinking it because it's delicious and it gives me all the benefits that I need to stay focused, to stay, with the energized, sustained energy and with the mood and motivation to take on whatever lives. Lives are not getting easier these days for any
Yeah.
of us either, right? So stress is always there. You
Mm.
know, what's different is how we cope with it. And there are many other techniques and to help us, but having adaptogens, in this case, in this delicious drink, has really helped me with my ability to stay calm and
Mhm.
under difficult situations.
So
And
it's
that,
kind of two things working, right? The adaptogens and the nootropics. The
yes, yeah.
adaptogens are what keep you calm. The nootropics are what make your brain focus. Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. In many different ways. There's so many different mechanisms. I can't get into all of them. Like
Yeah.
L-theanine, as I explained earlier,
Yeah.
it 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 helps to eliminate the negative side effects from caffeine, but also it helps to to produce this alpha wave in your
Mhm.
brain. And that's very calming and relaxing and without the drowsiness. So everything in there everything is in this formula for a reason. L-theanine doesn't work the same way if it wasn't for the caffeine that's in Jostriba. So
It's a
they
puzzle
all
you
work.
put together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a puzzle. Yeah, they all work together because you don't want to just, namaste all day, and we don't have the luxury to get up and go for a walk on the beach
Yeah.
and take some yoga lessons. We need to get going, right? In the morning, we need to, take on this responsibility. You're running a couple businesses at the same time. We have
Mhm.
we just there's a lot of things in life that with the tools, the same as that you're coaching for the
Mhm.
Femininity project, we need the tools to help us. And thank goodness this is something that's so enjoyable that I have been drinking it for several years, and now I can build a business. And by the way, this is just the first product we're launching, right? There's a whole line of products that we
I'm so
are going to.
excited. So
And
excited.
so yeah, and now it's just about sharing this and with others, and the more people get to know who we are, and all of our ambassadors like yourself
Mhm.
started as the customers of
Mhm.
this Costa Rica and enjoy drinking it and feeling the benefits. And more importantly, it's something that the more you drink, the longer you drink, the more benefits that you get. It's accumulative.
When do you
So
think
I,
people notice? Like, do you find that most people feel it right away, the difference, or is it a certain amount of time where what have you heard from your customers?
yeah. In terms of scientifically, like the molecules in Jostriba they start making the I penetrating. I hate to throw these words at you, but
Yeah.
brain-blood barrier. So there's a way of these ingredients, these molecules penetrating and go straight to your brain. The fastest way is to cross the blood-brain barrier, and that
Mhm.
happens within 30 minutes to 1 hour. So the alpha wave I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
that yeah, that's produced like within an hour. So the calming focus and the energy, the mental clarity, that happens fairly quickly.
Right.
And then the accumulative effects, like for example, the lower cortisol level. Cortisol is the stress level from
Mhm.
the adaptogen. That happens over time. So you don't, you will feel the benefits immediately, and you will have a better like night sleep as soon as you start using it. But
Mhm.
beauty is the longer you use, the better your body's ability is to cope with
Mhm.
stress and the lower the cortisol level. And the cortisol level, the chronic stress is the killer. It's the one that causes all kinds of metabolic diseases and is also the main cause of the belly fat. So the belly
Mhm.
fat is the worst kind of fat. It's in your organ. It's the one that causes a lot of problems for our health. And you probably don't want to walk around with belly fat,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
Yeah, for many different reasons. So once the cortisol level is under control, a lot of things change. And we can get into a little deeper during our masterclass. Like for myself, if I saw my body transform over the last couple of years, not from dieting, not from counting calories, not from changing my lifestyle,
Mhm.
really just lower the cortisol level. And I lost 10 pounds of just pure belly fat.
Wow.
And actually, I was quite surprised. I knew my body had changed over the last couple of years,
Yeah.
and but I did a body fat measurement recently, and compared to
Okay.
what I did years ago, and I was surprised.
Yeah.
Mm, I I knew in theory that should have happened, but I
To
was
see it.
I was I was like
And you were
really
always like, there's since I've known you, you've always been active. So it wasn't a
Yes.
change of activity, it was really
Oh,
lowering that cortisol level.
yeah. And I always,
So cool.
have been, yeah, my relationship with food hasn't changed, except for I think these days that I really don't count calories. I don't, uh, I don't I'm not afraid of food. I can control my craving. I don't
Yeah.
crave for junk food. We had this talk before, like, do I want to have some sweets or, I don't have zero desire for processed food. But if it's something that I want to indulge, I will let myself.
Yeah.
I don't stress over it. I think stress is probably the worst thing if you're
Yeah.
trying to lose weight. And be afraid of food
Yeah.
is it's not going to get you anywhere. It will make you miserable in many ways, and it will not help you. It will not do anything for you if your long-term goal is to have is to manage your weight naturally. Like if you
Mhm.
want to just lose 10 pounds and I have done that. I have done master cleanse. I've done all kinds of things. And before
Yeah.
I got married, right before my wedding, I did a cleanse for 10 days. I, hated myself and lost 10 pounds and I gained it within, 3 days, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
before before my wedding. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that does not work. We already know that. Everybody who have been on this kind of, you know, diet and they know that.
Yeah.
So having a long-term plan, and that's not just to maintain weight, but ultimately, why do we want to lose weight? Or why do we want to feel a certain way, want to look a certain way, and we want to feel good about ourselves.
Mhm.
So it doesn't make you feel good about yourself if you're just miserable, right?
And it also, on your point of lowering the cortisol levels, when somebody just tells you when you're stressed, sometimes you don't even know that you're stressed. You just live in that state, and people just tell you to relax. It's the least helpful thing that somebody could do. But
It's yeah, it's
yeah,
like dancing, right? I say, okay, yeah, don't mess up. It's like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
of
just
course you're going to mess up. Yeah. But tell me how not to mess up. Like help me, give me the
yeah.
tools. That's exactly, how your coaching is doing, right?
Mhm.
To give people tools so they don't stress, so
Yeah.
they stay calm. Yeah,
But I
but
think
they
there's
need,
another element of that too, where when somebody just says, gives you a command, but doesn't give you the how, you feel shame around it, right? And then
yeah,
it just becomes this thing that gets bigger. And I know with weight loss, which we're going to get into in a bit, that's something that a lot of women feel is they just keep losing at it. And they're getting these commands, but they're not getting the things that would support the tools that would support them on that journey. So I'm excited that we're going to touch on that soon. I
there's
want
a lot
to,
to talk about. Yeah.
yeah, we got a lot. I want to move on to your expertise also extends to cosmeceuticals. Did I say it right? And
Yes, yes.
skincare, cosmeceuticals
Perfect.
and skincare.
Yeah.
And I know women love that stuff. I know my community is really interested in it. What's one underrated tip that we should know or an ingredient you think that most women should know more about?
Ooh, the industry will hate me.
Oh, okay.
Less is more.
Less is more.
Less is
Solid.
more. Yeah. Well, that's it's also the reason I'm, no longer in that industry because the focus, I literally was skin deep, right? The
Mm,
focus was always on using a product and to improve your skin or your appearance, but it doesn't work from the outside. It's not a cliche.
mhm.
It is
Yeah,
the beauty is really from within.
yeah,
Of course, we're talking about the body language and confidence and your knowledge, and I'm not even talking about that. It's really is what how you nourish your body from within and the nutrients that you give your body and you give your not just your skin. The skin is just the outside, just the it's actually the biggest organ. It protects your body,
yeah,
but that's not beauty. That's just one layer. And I think how our relationship with skin, with beauty, It's evolving. I think, as a
Yeah.
society, we're still looking for that balance, and I don't know if we're heading to the right direction. But to long story short, less is more. If you People ask me all the time, what do you use? Like, what's your beauty regime? I I hate to say it. I make my own skincare products. I used to have a laboratory, so I would make things from scratch.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't have that luxury anymore, but I use very simple ingredients like marula oil, for example, jojoba oil, and just some
Okay.
basic lotion, body lotion. I put it together. I don't use, I don't use anything else. I don't use a lot of products on my skin, and for many different reasons because I've seen the beauty industry is quite toxic. There's lots of ingredients, and we talked about that, right?
Hmm.
The allergens, the irritants,
Yeah.
and you not subjecting your skin to toxin. You're doing it a huge favor,
Hmm.
and and by nourishing your skin from within is the only thing that will work.
What are
Nothing.
some ways that you nourish your skin from within? What are some of
Well,
your favorite things?
actually, fat
Okay.
is so important.
Yeah.
Um, when I say fat, I'm not talking about, go just gulp down a block of butter. I'm talking about essential fatty acids. Omega-3
Yeah.
has very important in my diet. If it's anything I go through a day, I want to make sure that you know, the intake is there is the omega-3 essential fatty acids and antioxidants, and prebiotics, like things to do with my gut health.
Hmm.
A lot of things come from gut. Our gut and brain are just so connected. And the gut, our skin is really a representation of how what our gut
Hmm.
is functioning or not functioning, right? And you see people walking around with all kinds of you know issues on their face,
Yeah.
really looking at what's going on in their digestive system.
Yeah.
So that's important. But we'll get into more details.
In our
Not everybody can eat like me, but I think anybody can find a way. Everybody can find a way to have a healthy relationship with food and nourish their body and the gut to take care of their skin from within, from inside out.
Okay, so next week you're hosting a workshop for our community on brain-powered weight management. How do you think weight management ties into feeling confident and feminine?
Oh, it's wait, it's not being skinny. It's not about being skinny. Like for
Mhm.
me, um, I want to move my body the way I want to move my body.
Yeah,
So, if I can't do that, I don't have the confidence. So it's
yeah,
that's it. And being able to move my body, I need to. It's not I need to. It does. It's an important component of having control over your body is to control, to be able to have the muscular structure, to have the flexibility and strength.
yeah.
And so it's never about maybe at one point in my life was about just being skinny, right?
Mhm.
Being, having smaller waist. No, it's not about that anymore, right?
Mhm.
Although, I'm happy with how my body is shaped, but more importantly, I'm so grateful for the ability I can move my body the way I
Yeah.
want to move. Right. So, and without that, then just dancing is an extreme case, situation that when you go out there, you wouldn't be able to express yourself and deliver the performance and choreography if you
Mhm.
don't have control of your body and the carrying additional, just, it's just I don't want to use the word fat, but it is something that needs to be balanced with your muscle and in order for your body to have that control.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's not a secret. All I think the society is obsessed with the shape, the look, and the weight. I think it's so unhealthy. If only we can focus, like I have been over the last couple of years, and I used to be one of those. I used to
Mhm.
be, okay, I want to be just lose 10 pounds. I don't care how,
Yeah.
and it's in order to fit into a dress. It's not nowadays. It's not about that anymore. And I'm feeling more confident than ever, with my body without having to even think about weight.
Mhm.
But thinking about everything else that helps my brain and my mind and consequently my body to 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 perform to deliver what I want to deliver.
Love it. What are some of the most common challenges you see that women face when it comes to weight management? And this workshop is also talking about the smart and happy method addressing
Hmm.
these struggles. And you've kind of
Yeah,
touched on it, but if you can go a little bit
yeah. Yeah, I use the word smart is a little cheeky, but I think it's
more.
smart because the focus is really on your brain.
Yeah.
So if you're the traditional or the conventional weight loss is weight man the diet and that people have been using is it has been too much focus on just the body composition
Yeah.
on losing weight or losing fat. And so a lot of that was counting calories or don't eat this and don't eat that and starve your body of this and deprive your body with that. Um, but very little focus is on what your body actually needs
Yeah.
to perform.
Okay.
So once you shift away from that and focus on just taking care of your mind, then your body can make better decisions, especially when it comes to what kind of food you eat.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you talk to like especially your audience, they're highly educated.
Mhm.
Everybody knows what junk food is because it's
Yeah.
called junk food, right?
Yeah.
No, we don't even need to define it. We know what that means.
Yeah.
But people are craving for junk food, not because they don't understand it's junk. It's just
Mhm.
because they their hormones, their brain are losing the battle,
Mhm.
right? To the craving.
Yeah.
So once you take care of your body, your mind, your brain, and your hormonal balance, you naturally do not make the wrong decision to eat the wrong food.
Mhm.
So that's why it's the happy, it's the smart
Yeah.
and happy. And because you no longer have to battle with your demons, you no longer have to battle with your cravings.
Yes.
I yeah, it- I'm so at at come to terms with my consumption, my food consumption in these days because I don't I never get guilty from eating anything anymore.
Mhm.
Which I used to be if I eat something I knew it was bad for me, of course, and then you get guilty and you get stressed out, you get depressed, and you want to crave the bad food more. So it was a vicious cycle. You got to break that vicious cycle. You want to be able to control your cravings or not affected by or just don't even have cravings to start with. And every day your focus is on how to take care of your brain and how to take care of your body. And then everything will just be a lot easier and sustainable and consequently happier, which is ultimately I think our goal in life is we want to enjoy life. We don't want to
Mhm.
suffer, right? Suffer is optional. Really, like as soon as I shifted my focus from I have to lose weight, I have to do this, I have to start my body of this and that to I want to take care of my body. I want to take care of my mind. I want to take care of my brain. Um, then things are just a lot um maybe easier is the right word, or enjoyable. Life is a lot more enjoyable, with
Holly,
so
this is Been amazing. You are so, I've already learned so much just in this episode talking to you, and I'm around you a lot. So every time I hear from you, I learn more. I'm really excited for this workshop next week. There's going to be, it's going to be this, but even more detail focus on that brain-powered weight management. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. My
Okay.
pleasure. Can't
If,
wait.
yeah.
The master class, and we'll get into a lot more of like the real tools, the real techniques, and your audience can take home with, and just apply them to their daily life, like all the other tools that you give them to for their body language and femininity and building their confidence. I hope to do the same for them for their just what to eat and what to drink.
So this is going to happen next Saturday, January 25th. It is a free workshop, so I'm going to put the link in the show notes for you guys to sign up, and we'd love to see you there. As well, I'm going to put a link to Holly's coffee. Her company is 8 billion, and the coffee is called Just Arriba. Did I say that right? Just Arriba? Yes.
With perfect accent.
And if you want to try it, the code will give you 20% off your first order. Thank you for being here. I will see you next week. And thank you for tuning in to the Femininity Project podcast.
Thank you.